chosen one. Pause and hear this. To the world. It may have looked like you were just surviving another ordinary season, but heaven knows the truth. You were walking through a hidden examination, a test designed not to destroy you, but to refine you. Few saw the nights you wept silently, the mornings you carried yourself forward with no strength left, the questions you whispered when it felt like God was silent. That silence was not abandonment. It was the sound of your test. And you endured. You did not quit. You passed. Picture a diamond buried deep in the earth. On the surface, it appears to be nothing more than a lump of stone, unseen, overlooked, crushed under pressure. But only pressure creates brilliance. Only weight transforms coal into a diamond. That is you. What pressed against you was never meant to crush you. It was meant to prove what was hidden inside. Consider Joseph, another chosen one, betrayed by brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison by false accusation. Men forgot him, but heaven never did. His prison became his training ground, shaping him for the palace that awaited him. The very walls meant to contain him became the classroom where destiny prepared him. Your hidden season was no different. You were not abandoned. You were being prepared. The voice of God thunders in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. When you held your tongue instead of retaliating, when you refused to bow to despair, when you chose to stand still in faith rather than run away, God was fighting for you. Do you realize what this means? The adversary expected you to fall apart. He plotted for you to break. He whispered that you were finished, but you are still standing. Yes. You bent under the wind. Yes. You shed tears, but you did not break. And that is proof. The test is behind you. Think of the bamboo tree. For years after being planted, nothing is visible above the soil. People look at the barren ground and assume nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are spreading wide, strong, deep. Then, suddenly, it shoots upward faster than any tree around it. That was your hidden season. Roots were growing while people assumed you were stagnant. Now, the sudden rising begins. Hear this clearly. The atmosphere around you has shifted. The season of silence has ended. Doors that once resisted you are beginning to unlock. Dreams you buried are coming back to life. The weight that pressed you down has lost its grip. Heaven is declaring, you have passed the test. But every victory needs a marker. When Joshua crossed the Jordan, he set stones by the riverbank to remind future generations of what God had done. Today, I invite you to mark this moment in your own way. Comment the number 777 below, not as superstition, but as prophetic action, your sign of completion, of crossing over from trial into reward. And before you leave, take a step that ensures you remain aligned with these revelations. Like this message, share it so another chosen one can be lifted. And subscribe so you never miss the next word designed to guide your journey. You endured the pressure, but you were not crushed. You walked through the darkness, and the dawn has broken. The test is finished. You are victorious, chosen one. There is something you need to know. None of your tears were wasted. Heaven is not careless. Heaven keeps records. Every sigh, every cry in the silence of the night. Every moment you endured, when no one clapped for you, those were all written down in the eternal book. You thought no one saw you, but the throne of God did. Think of a bottle placed in the hands of the Almighty. Each tear you shed slipped into that bottle, stored and remembered. Not one fell to the ground unnoticed. The world may dismiss your pain as weakness, but in heaven, your endurance is testimony. Your persistence is ink written into eternity. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You recorded each one in your book. This means your story is not forgotten. The nights you held yourself together when nobody else was there, they are memorialized before God. Let me tell you a story. There was once a woman who prayed in the temple. Her name was Hannah. For years, she carried emptiness, mocked by others, misunderstood even by the priest who saw her praying. To the world, she was invisible. But heaven was listening. Every whispered prayer, every tear falling silently down her cheek, was being recorded. In the right time, the answer came, and Samuel was born. Hannah's tears became the foundation for a prophet who would change a nation. The same is true for you. The endurance you showed, the moments you chose to trust, even when you saw nothing, those are now the foundation of what heaven is building in you. Your faith under fire has written a story far louder than your words ever could. Imagine a scribe seated in the courts of heaven, pen in hand, writing your victories in the book of remembrance. Each act of faith, even the smallest one, is noted. The time you forgave when it hurt, the moment you gave kindness when bitterness seemed easier, the day you stood in prayer even though your strength was fading, all of it is inscribed. And this is not just about keeping record for the sake of history. These records are testimonies that will speak for you in seasons ahead. When accusation comes, the record speaks louder. This one endured. This one stayed faithful. This one refused to bow. Think of it as a courtroom. The enemy may accuse you, pointing to your flaws and failures. But then heaven's record is opened, and your endurance testifies. Where others quit, you remained. Where others turned cold, you pressed on. That becomes your defense. That becomes your crown. Chosen one. You must understand, your endurance is not only for you, it becomes a beacon for those who will come after. Just as David's psalms of lament now comfort generations, your story of persistence becomes light for others walking through darkness. Someone else will endure because you endured first. Look again at your life. The places where you felt forgotten were actually altars being built. The long road, the lonely nights, the unanswered prayers, they are stones laid down to build a testimony that cannot be shaken. Your endurance is your inheritance. It is the seed that cannot die, the oil that will fuel your lamp when others run out. And now, because heaven has kept record, the time is coming when those seeds must bear fruit. Hold this truth close. You are not unseen. You are not forgotten. Every moment has been counted, and every tear has been treasured. Chosen one. Let me uncover the truth for you. Your trial was not hidden in silence. You may have thought, no one noticed the battles you fought. But the unseen world was watching. Angels stood guard at the edges of your struggle. Darkness circled, waiting for you to collapse. You were in an arena, and both light and shadow were witnesses. This is why your endurance mattered so deeply. Each small step of faith was not only survival, it was testimony. When you chose to trust instead of curse, heaven recorded it. When you resisted despair, the adversary lost his voice. Every decision carried eternal weight. Think of Job, stripped of wealth, family, and health. Yet heaven permitted the test so his faith could thunder across eternity. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him. That cry silenced the accuser, and your endurance has echoed the same defiance against darkness. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 2nd book, chapter 4, verse 17. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. What you carried was heavy, but the glory it produces is heavier still. Picture a Coliseum. Every time you whispered a prayer when no one was there, angels rose to applaud. Each time you forgave when bitterness seemed easier, heaven leaned closer. When you lifted your head one more time, despite exhaustion, darkness fell silent. You may not have heard it, but your endurance echoed across realms. Now comes the part you must declare. I invite you to type these words in the comments. The crown awaits. Why this declaration? Because you need to anchor your spirit in what is coming. Your trial was not endless. It was preparation. A crown has been reserved for those who endure. And yours is not an idea. It is real. Waiting. Unshakable. Writing, "The crown awaits," is more than words on a screen. It is a prophetic act. It seals your faith that all you lost will be answered with glory. It shifts your posture from survivor to heir. Understand this. Your perseverance is not small. It has already silenced the enemy and honored God. And now the crown is not far off in the distance. It is being brought closer. You endured the battlefield. You are now stepping into inheritance. Chosen one. Stand firm. Heaven saw. Darkness trembled, and the crown awaits. But let me go deeper with you. A crown does not rest on just anyone's head. It rests on those who have been proven. Your sleepless nights, the whispers of doubt, the rejection that cut deep, those became the fire that tested your foundation. And when everything shook, you did not crumble. That is why the crown is no longer a far-off promise, but a present reality being prepared for you. Think of a runner in a race. The crowd cheers when they cross the finish line. But the training was lonely. Nobody clapped for the miles in the dark, for the aching muscles, for the sweat that soaked the ground. Yet without that hidden endurance, the victory would never come. You, too, have run silently, and now heaven brings the reward publicly. So write it, speak it, seal it. The crown awaits. Because what you endured in secret is about to be honored in the open. And remember, the glory placed upon you is not fragile. It is forged in fire, tested in silence, and destined to shine without end. Chosen one. There are things you must know about what tried to stop you. Not everything you endured came from coincidence. Some of it was sabotage planned, planted, and hidden in shadows. What you thought were random obstacles were in fact carefully designed traps meant to delay or destroy you. But the truth is this: every secret plan has now been exposed. Think of the story of Esther. Haman crafted a gallows with the intent to silence Mordecai. He positioned himself with influence, manipulated the king, and thought he had sealed the fate of God's people. But what he built for another became the instrument of his own downfall. The plot reversed. The gallows exposed the heart of the enemy. The same has happened for you. What was meant to trap you has backfired. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 20, verse 11. But the Lord is with me like a mighty warrior, so my persecutors will stumble and not prevail. This is what you lived. Plots surrounded you, but none prevailed. Their stumbling was the sign that God was with you. Now, think back on the people or situations that tried to twist your story. The whispered lies, the unfair accusations, the doors slammed shut for reasons that made no sense. These were not accidents. They were coordinated schemes, hoping you would cave in discouragement. Yet, here you are. Their sabotage became your stepping stone. Imagine a net spread across a path to the eye. It is hidden by leaves and branches, designed to catch the feet of the unsuspecting. But the moment the light shines, the net is revealed, and what once threatened to entangle becomes obvious and powerless. That is what God has done for you. He has turned on the light. The traps are visible now, and you walk free. There is also a mystery here. Sometimes God allowed you to see the betrayal only after it already happened. That was not abandonment, it was exposure. By allowing you to feel the sting, He opened your eyes to who was truly for you and who was against you. Better to lose false support now than to carry it into the next season. Exposure is painful, but it protects. Remember how David faced betrayal. He wrote in his Psalms about friends who turned into foes, about companions who lifted their heel against him. Yet every betrayal only revealed the purity of God's loyalty. Human plans unraveled, but divine promises held. The same thread runs through your story. Chosen one. This unveiling is part of your reward. You are no longer walking blind. The very forces that schemed against you have been unmasked. And now you stand with clarity. You know who you are. You know who walks with you. And you know that no hidden plan has authority over your destiny. What should you carry forward from this? Discernment. Eyes open. A spirit that no longer confuses sabotage with failure. You can now look back and say, "It wasn't that I was weak, it was that I was targeted, and yet I prevailed." That realization is power. So walk boldly now. The nets are torn. The masks have fallen. The gallows built for you stand empty because their builders stumbled into their own design. And you, the one they targeted, remain standing. And not just standing, you are rising higher, stronger, unshaken, with the clarity that nothing hidden can bind you again. Chosen one. After the exposure of sabotage comes something even greater, confirmation. Not the shallow kind of affirmation people hand out in passing, but the deep seal of God's approval. When heaven stamps something, it cannot be erased. That is what rests on you now, the seal of divine confirmation. It is like when Joshua stood before the angel in the vision of Zechariah. His garments were stained, his reputation questioned, his name dragged into the dirt. But then the Lord commanded, "Take off his filthy clothes, put clean garments on him, place a pure turban upon his head." That was not just a change of clothing, it was heaven's seal, declaring before every witness, "This one is mine." That same seal now rests on you. The prophet Haggai speaks in chapter 2, verse 23. "On that day, declares the Lord Almighty. I will take you, my servant, and I will make you like my signet ring, for I have chosen you. A signet ring is a seal of ownership, authority, and authenticity. That is what you now carry. Pause and let that truth sink in. You are no longer defined by the voices that doubted you. You are no longer measured by the eyes that misjudged you. The seal of heaven overrides every other opinion. It is stronger than gossip. It is louder than accusation. It is deeper than fear. Imagine wax poured onto parchment, and a king pressing his ring into it. The mark remains unbreakable, a sign that no one can tamper with what has been decreed. Heaven has pressed its seal upon your life. That is why the enemy fought you so hard. He could sense what was coming. He knew that once the seal was set, your path would be undeniable. Chosen one. This seal is not only for you, it is for your journey forward. When you walk into rooms, the invisible mark of heaven will speak louder than your resume. When you stand among crowds, your presence will shift the atmosphere, not because of who you are in human terms, but because of who you are in God's decree. The seal has spoken. Now, let me speak to your heart in a way you will feel. Think of this message like a torch lit in the night. If it warms your soul, if it brings light to your steps, then carry the flame further. Share it, so that another weary traveler can find the road. Press it into your own journey by subscribing, not out of duty, but out of desire to walk continually in light. And place your mark of agreement with a like, not because anyone asked, but because your spirit resonates with the truth it has received. You see, this is not about building numbers. It is about building altars. Each time this word is carried, it becomes another stone stacked on the monument of testimony, evidence that God still seals his people, that he still confirms his chosen ones. So, receive the seal. Let it rest on your heart. Walk with the confidence that you are no longer questioned in heaven's courts. And if this flame has stirred something inside you, carry it with grace. Pass it forward with love. And know this, the seal upon you is eternal, and with that seal comes peace, strength, and an identity no storm can erase. No enemy canundo. No shadow can overturn. Chosen one. There is a prophetic act waiting for you. It is simple, yet powerful, a symbol that heaven uses to mark transitions. Numbers in Scripture are never random. They carry meaning, rhythm, and divine fingerprints. When God repeats a number in your path, it is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Your endurance has not only passed the test, it has positioned you for completion. But heaven is not silent about completion, it always leaves a sign. That sign is now placed before you, and it comes through the prophetic number 888. Why 888? The number 8 is the sign of new beginnings. It marks resurrection, renewal, and stepping into the next after the old has ended. Jesus himself rose on the first day of the week, which was the 8th day. It was heaven's way of declaring, what was finished yesterday is alive in a new form today. 888 doesn't only mean new beginnings. It means overflowing new beginnings. Abundance of what is fresh. Multiplied resurrection. According to what is revealed in the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 4. We were therefore buried with him through baptism into death, in order that, just as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, we too may live a new life. That is the essence of 888. A new life, not a recycled one, not a patched-up version, a resurrection, a rebirth, a complete unveiling of who you are becoming. Look back on your journey. The old chapters that closed were not wasted, they were preparation. But you cannot carry the old garments into the new season. The very trials that wore you down were chiseling away the shell of who you were, so that a new identity could emerge. This is why heaven presents you with 888 right now. It is God's way of saying, step out of the grave clothes. Step into the new robe. And picture a door that has been sealed for years. Dust covers the hinges. Rust has locked it shut. Suddenly, you hear 3 loud knocks. The door trembles. The rust breaks. And the hinges burst open. Light floods through. That is what 888 represents for you. Not one door, but multiple doors, opening layer upon layer of renewal. Opportunities unlocked in rapid sequence. Chosen one. Here is what I ask of you. Seal this moment with declaration, not with empty superstition, but with faith. Comment the number 888 below. Why? Because writing it is your agreement with heaven's message. It is not just typing digits. It is planting a marker in your spirit. It is telling the unseen world, I step into resurrection. I embrace new beginnings. I welcome the fresh flow of God's promises. When you declare it, you align your heart with what heaven has already written. Think of it like putting your signature on a covenant. The covenant is already real, already signed by God. But when you add your agreement, you enter into its power. That is what happens when you type 888. You are saying yes. You are saying amen. You are saying, the new is mine. Chosen one. The old season is gone. The weight that clung to you cannot follow you here. This is not the end of your story. It is the rebirth of your story. So let 888 be more than numbers. Let it be the sound of chains falling, of graves breaking open, of your soul running free into the dawn. You have endured. Now you are renewed. And heaven declares, the new beginning is not coming. It is here. Chosen one. Have you noticed it? The atmosphere around you is not the same. What once felt heavy now begins to feel lighter. What seemed sealed is loosening. You may not see the full picture yet, but the shift has already happened. There is a moment in the book of Joshua when the people marched around Jericho day after day. It looked unchanged. The walls mocked their footsteps. The silence pressed down on their hearts. But obedience created pressure. And on the 7th day, the atmosphere shifted. Trumpets sounded. Shouts rose. And what was unmovable suddenly collapsed. That is what is happening in your world right now. The atmosphere that resisted you is breaking open. We find in the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 13, Now I will break their yoke from your neck and tear your shackles away. That is the declaration over your life. The spiritual weight that pressed you down is being torn off. What bound you yesterday has no permission to cling to you today. Think of air after a thunderstorm. The pressure shifts. The clouds scatter. And suddenly, you can breathe more deeply. Gras smells richer. Skies shine brighter. And everything feels cleansed. That's what is happening in the spirit for you. The heaviness has lifted. The storm has spent its strength. Now you are breathing freedom. This shift doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's quiet, like a curtain pulled back. One day you wake up and realize the dread that haunted you is gone. The same words that once crushed you no longer carry weight. Opportunities you thought were dead start calling your name again. That is the subtle but undeniable proof. The atmosphere has changed. Chosen one. Reflect for a moment. You can sense it, can't you? That inner weight is no longer suffocating. The fear you carried feels weaker. The chains of delay sound like they're breaking link by link. This is not imagination. It is the ripple of heaven's shift in your favor. Imagine walking through a forest at night. For hours you stumble, guided only by touch. Every branch scratching, every step uncertain. Then, without warning, the horizon lightens. Dawn is breaking. Shadows thin. Shapes appear clear. You realize you were closer to sunrise than you thought. That is your life right now. The dawn has come, and the night cannot hold you anymore. But don't mistake the silence of this moment for emptiness. Silence is often the sound of a reset. Think of a stage being prepared after the curtains close. While the audience waits in the quiet, behind the scenes, the set is shifting. Props are moving. Lights are aligning. And when the curtain rises again, a new scene is revealed. Your silence was preparation for the unveiling that is now beginning. This is why you must not look back with regret. What felt wasted was not wasted. It was rearranged. The old was being cleared out so that the new could find space to enter. The atmosphere around you had to change. And now it has. So stand where you are with confidence. The spiritual climate has shifted. The doors that were sealed are unbolting. The weight that crushed you is lifting, and the path ahead is opening. Brighter and wider than before. Chosen one. Breathe deeply. This is the air of freedom. This is the sound of a shifting atmosphere. And it is the unmistakable sign. Your next season has begun. Chosen one. There is a crown already waiting for you. Not the kind crafted by human hands. Not fragile metal or fading jewels. But one fashioned in eternity. It has been reserved with your name on it since before you ever faced a single battle. Every step of endurance. Every prayer in the night. Every moment you chose faith over fear has been weaving this crown together. The Apostle Paul understood this when he wrote near the end of his life. After a journey marked by shipwrecks, prisons, betrayals, and relentless trials, he declared with unshakable confidence, "Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing." These words from the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8, are not distant poetry. They are a promise for you. Think of a soldier returning from war. His armor bears scars. His body is weary. His face shows the cost of battle. Yet, when he steps into the hall of victory, the crowd rises to its feet, not because he never bled, but because he did not quit. Then a crown, symbol of honor and proof of endurance, is placed on his head. That is your story. You may feel the weight of scars, but they are proof you have earned the honor that awaits. The crown is not only a future reward in heaven, it is also the authority and dignity you carry now. You walk with the invisible weight of victory upon your spirit. People may not understand why your presence feels different, why your words cut deeper, why your silence carries strength. But it is the crown. It is heaven's recognition resting upon you. Imagine a runner who trained in obscurity, early mornings, sore muscles, endless drills. No crowds cheered then, no medals shone. But on the day of the race, when the finish line was crossed, the crown was placed on the one who endured the training no one saw. In the same way, you are stepping into your finish line moment. All the unseen endurance has led to this unveiling. Chosen one. Your crown cannot be stolen. No betrayal is strong enough to take it. No delay is long enough to cancel it. No accusation is sharp enough to dislodge it. What heaven has stored for you is secured by God's own hand. The weight you feel on your spirit is not just responsibility, it is the foreshadowing of glory being placed on your life. Think of a royal coronation. The room is filled with anticipation. The air, electric. Every eye fixed on the chosen one who enters. The moment comes, and the crown is lowered slowly, deliberately, onto the head of the heir. In that instant, nothing can deny their identity. That is what heaven is doing with you. The atmosphere of your life is shifting because your crown is being lowered. Hold this truth in your heart. The battles behind you were never random. They were the proof of your endurance. The crown was always waiting, but only endurance could release it. And now that endurance has spoken, the crown is being revealed. Chosen one. Lift your head. The weight you feel is not defeat. It is the crown prepared for you. Chosen one. There comes a moment when silent endurance must rise into spoken declaration. You have carried faith in your heart, through nights of tears, through battles unseen, through valleys where no one else walked with you. That hidden faith has weight. But now, heaven calls you to give your faith a voice. Ruth knew this kind of moment. She stood between two roads, the familiar and the unknown. She could have turned back to safety, but instead she opened her mouth and spoke words that reshaped her destiny. Where you go, I will go. That vow sealed her future, and silence was no longer enough. The same is true for you. Your destiny is waiting for your vow, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 37. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned. Your words are not empty, they are verdicts. They carry weight. They open doors or close them. And today, they must open the path before you. Think of your life as a long bridge. Behind you lies a season marked by endurance, pain, and perseverance. Ahead of you lies inheritance and honor. But the bridge is not crossed in silence. It must be sealed with your own declaration. Without words, the crossing remains incomplete. This is why I invite you now to declare openly, not only to yourself, but before heaven and earth. Comment these words. My yes stands. And why this declaration? Because it is the anthem of the faithful. It is saying, though I was tested, I did not bow to darkness. Though I was pressed, I did not change my answer. My yes to God is unshaken. When you type, my yes stands, you do not just repeat words, you reaffirm your vow. You plant your flag where the enemy once thought you would fall. You say, my covenant remains. Imagine a soldier lifting his hand to take an oath. The battle may rage on, but the oath secures his place, his honor, his mission. Your declaration is that oath. It tells heaven that you are not wavering, not retreating, not double-minded. It tells the unseen realm that your yes is permanent, carved into stone, chosen one. Obedience is not weakness. Obedience is power in disguise. It is the secret strength that crowns cannot be given without. And your declaration today is proof that you are not only a survivor, you are a covenant keeper. So let your yes stand tall. Let it echo louder than doubt. Let it be written not only in your heart, but in your words. And know this: heaven has heard you, and the crown will find its rightful place. And let me take you deeper. Your yes is not a one-time decision. It is the thread running through every season. In the valley, it whispers. On the mountain, it resounds. When storms howl, it holds steady like an anchor driven deep. That yes is not fragile. It is forged. My yes stands means tomorrow you will still rise. Next year you will still bow to God's will. And decades from now, when new trials appear, your yes will remain carved into eternity. It is not only a vow, it is your identity. You are the one whose yes endures. And because of that, crowns cannot miss you. They are drawn to those whose yes has never broken. Chosen one. There is a mystery in the way God works. The very places of shame you once walked through are about to become places of honor. The same eyes that watched you stumble will witness you stand. The same mouths that whispered against you will be silenced by what God restores to you. Shame is never the final chapter. In God's hands, shame is only the soil where honor grows. Look at Job, stripped of health, wealth, and reputation. He sat among ashes, scraping his wounds, while even his friends doubted him. But the story did not end in ashes. Job's latter days were greater than his former. He received double what was lost. The shame of the past season became the stage for overflowing restoration. According to what is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 7, instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. This is the promise hovering over your life right now. What once caused you to hang your head will cause you to lift it high. Think of a garment torn in public, leaving you exposed, humiliated, and vulnerable. That was the season of shame. But now imagine the torn garment replaced by a robe woven with royal thread. The covering is not only restored, it is upgraded. The very place of exposure becomes the testimony of dignity. That is what God is doing for you. Or picture a clay pot cracked and discarded. People saw only brokenness, but the master potter lifts it again, fills the cracks with gold, and suddenly the pot is more beautiful and valuable than before. In Japanese art, this is called kintsugi. In the kingdom of God, this is called redemption. Your cracks are not hidden, they are filled with glory. Chosen one, do not despise what you endured. The rejection, the mocking, the setbacks, they are being overturned. Where you were laughed at, you will be honored. Where you were excluded, you will be celebrated. Where doors slammed shut, new ones will swing wide. This is not just poetic encouragement, it is the pattern of God's redemption. Now, let me speak to your heart gently. If this word stirs something deep in you, then carry it forward with grace. Treat this message like a cup of fresh water. If it quenched your thirst, don't keep it only for yourself. Share it, so that another weary soul can drink. Let your silent agreement become visible through a simple like, not because you are asked, but because your spirit resonates with the truth. And if you long to keep walking in step with this flow of revelation, then subscribe, not as obligation, but as an act of choosing to remain under the stream of living words. This is not about numbers. It is about testimony. Every time you pass the flame forward, you become part of the story of reversal. You join the movement of turning shame into honor, of scattering seeds of hope into the lives of others. Chosen one, lift your head. The shame that once bent your back cannot hold you anymore. The robe of honor has already been prepared, and the crown of double portion is coming into view. Walk boldly, because your disgrace has been exchanged for glory. And let this truth carry you forward where others saw ashes. Heaven sees beauty where others saw failure. Heaven has written triumph. Chosen one. One of the hardest lessons to understand is the reason behind delay. Delay can feel like denial. It can feel like a locked door, a withheld promise, a dream fading into dust. Yet, what you see as delay, heaven often calls preparation. Think of the prophet Habakkuk. He cried out in frustration, asking why God's promises seemed so far away. Yet the Lord answered him clearly, "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets so that he may run who reads it. For the vision awaits an appointed time, though it linger. Wait for it, it will surely come and will not delay." The promise carried its own schedule. It was never cancelled. It was waiting for its appointed moment. The ancient words recorded in Habakkuk, chapter 2, verses 2 and 3 still echo today. Though it linger, wait for it, it will certainly come and will not delay. That is the truth your heart must hold. Delay is not the death of destiny, it is the shield of destiny, protecting you until you are ready. Picture a fruit tree. In the first year, branches are thin, roots shallow, leaves tender. The farmer does not demand fruit yet. He prunes, waters, strengthens. If fruit came too soon, the branches would snap under the weight. But after seasons of growth, the same tree produces harvest in abundance. The waiting was not punishment, it was protection. So it was with you. Or think of clay in the potter's kiln. If pulled out too early, it crumbles in the hand. But when left in the fire until the right moment, it emerges strong, unbreakable, useful. Your seasons of fire were not to burn you, they were to strengthen you, so that when the promise arrived, you would be able to carry it. Delay also reveals motives. In waiting, the shallow grow weary and walk away, but the faithful remain, rooted in trust. Waiting becomes the dividing line between those chasing comfort and those pursuing calling. Your endurance in the delay has proven your heart. You did not wait in vain. You waited with faith. And that faith is what heaven honors. Chosen one. Look again at your own story. How many times did you think the answer would never come, only to find later that the timing was perfect? How many times did disappointment prepare you for something greater? The very no's that pained you were guarding you from doors not meant for you. The pauses you despised were staging the backdrop for what you were truly meant to receive. Imagine a stage before the curtain rises. Behind the fabric, workers rush. Props move. Lights adjust. To the audience, nothing is happening. But the silence before the opening is not emptiness. it is arrangement. And when the curtain finally lifts, the scene makes sense. Your delay has been that silence. Behind the curtain, God has been arranging, aligning, preparing. So do not mistake delay for abandonment. Do not confuse waiting with rejection. Heaven has its appointed time, and it cannot be rushed nor delayed beyond what is perfect. Chosen one. Your waiting was never wasted. Every silent season was laying a foundation. Every unanswered prayer was storing oil for the lamp. And now, as you step forward, you will see why it took the time it did. The vision is not gone. It is alive. It is ripening. And in its appointed moment, it will come forth in glory. Chosen one. There is a key moment where cycles must end. You have endured seasons that seem to repeat patterns of disappointment, doors closing in familiar ways, betrayals that echoed the last. These cycles were not coincidence. They were chains. But today, heaven announces that those chains are breaking. When Israel wandered in the wilderness, they circled the same mountains for years, round and round. Steps that felt endless, days that blurred together. Yet in Deuteronomy, the Lord spoke. You have circled this mountain long enough, now turn north. That command was the end of a cycle. One word shifted an entire generation from wandering to promise. The same shift is upon you. We find in the book of Hosea, chapter 2, verse 15, "There I will give her back her vineyards, and will make the valley of Achor a door of hope." The valley of trouble becomes the doorway of transformation. What was once the place of endless repetition becomes the very gate into renewal. Think of a locked gate with rusted hinges. For years you rattled it, hearing only the sound of chains clanging back. But now the key is in your hand. You turn it, and the lock snaps open. The sound is not just metal breaking, it is the sound of cycles ending, or picture waves crashing onto the same shore, over and over, as if the ocean is trapped in routine. Then suddenly, the tide shifts. The water recedes, making way for a new path to be revealed in the sand. That is what heaven is doing in you. The tide is shifting, and the old rhythm is broken. Chosen one. Here is your prophetic act. Mark this moment, not only in your heart, but in your declaration. Comment this number, 111. Why 111? Because 1 is the number of unity, alignment, and fresh beginnings. 111 intensifies the message. You are no longer divided, no longer scattered. Your path, your heart, your calling are aligned as one. Writing 111 is not superstition, it is covenant. It is your agreement that the old cycles are broken and a new, unified path begins today. Think of it as stepping through a doorway into singular focus, where once you felt pulled in many directions, distracted and delayed. Now everything converges. Destiny no longer scatters, it sharpens. 111 becomes the signpost of clarity, and this is not just about you. When cycles break in your life, they also break in your bloodline. The patterns that tried to continue from generation to generation are cut off. The curses that attempted to pass down are interrupted. You stand as the one who says, "It ends with me." Oh, chosen one. You are not trapped in circles anymore. You are stepping into alignment, walking a straight path, carrying a clear purpose. You are leaving behind valleys of trouble and walking through doors of hope. And every step forward testifies the cycle is over. The foundation is sure, and the future is open wide. And hear this clearly: your steps may feel small, but they echo loudly in eternity. Every choice you make now builds momentum. Every act of faith carves a new trail. When you declared 111, you did more than type numbers. You aligned heaven and earth in your own story. This is not just a season ending, it is a new rhythm beginning. One that carries you into clarity, freedom, and unshakable purpose. Chosen one, there are treasures that have been hidden from your sight, not because they were lost, but because they were reserved. There are inheritances prepared long ago, waiting for the moment you would be ready to carry them. These are not only material things, but wisdom, opportunities, relationships, and doors of influence set aside until the right season. That season is now opening before you. We find in the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 22, "The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just." This is more than finances. It is a principle of inheritance. What was once in the hands of the unrighteous is being shifted into the hands of the faithful. What seemed out of reach is about to be revealed as rightfully yours. Think of a treasure chest buried beneath the earth. For years, it remained unseen, covered by soil, forgotten by all who passed over it. Yet when the right person comes with the right key, the earth gives way, and the chest is uncovered. That is what God is doing with you now. The things buried, the blessings hidden, are being unearthed. Or picture an heir who never knew the extent of their inheritance. They lived modestly, unaware that their name was written in the will of a great estate. One day, the documents are opened, the seal is broken, and the heir discovers the truth. Everything they once thought belonged to another is theirs by right. This is your story. You have lived humbly, often overlooked, but your name has always been written in heaven's will. Hidden inheritance also comes in the form of wisdom. Think of Solomon, who did not ask for riches or long life, but for understanding. And God granted him not only wisdom, but wealth and honor as well. What is being uncovered for you is not just external blessing, but the inner treasure of discernment and clarity. This wisdom will guide you into doors that no one else can open. Chosen one, your hidden inheritance includes relationships that will lift you higher. People you never imagined meeting will be drawn into your path not by chance but by divine alignment. Just as Jonathan was given to David as a covenant friend, so too are allies being revealed to you. Allies who were hidden until now. This inheritance is also generational. You are stepping into promises made long before you. Prayers whispered by ancestors. Seeds sown by those who came before. Some of the blessings you are about to see are not only for you, but the answers to cries prayed decades or even centuries ago in your family line. You carry not just your own inheritance, but the fulfillment of many prayers combined. Imagine a vault sealed with a heavy door. For years it stood locked, while treasures sat unused inside. But when the code is entered, the vault swings wide, revealing the fullness of what was kept in secret. That is what heaven is doing in this season. The code has been entered. The vault is opening, and what has been hidden is being placed in your hands. Chosen one, the time of scarcity is giving way to the time of revelation. The things you thought were denied are being unveiled. What you could not see before is now coming into view. Your hidden inheritance is not a dream, it is reality, prepared for you, and now revealed in its appointed time. Chosen one. There is a mantle of authority being placed upon your shoulders. It is not made of cloth, nor stitched by human hands, but it is real, more real than anything you could wear in this world. This mantle is a sign of transfer. It marks the moment when the season of being trained quietly in the shadows gives way to the season of standing boldly in the light. The story of Elisha illustrates this truth. He followed Elijah faithfully, plowing fields one moment and running after the prophet the next. When Elijah was taken up, his cloak fell, and Elisha picked it up. That cloak was more than fabric. It was the mantle, the weight of authority, the proof of calling. With it came responsibility, but also power. In the same way, the mantle has fallen upon you. The Apostle Paul speaks in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 20. For the kingdom of God is not in word but in power. The mantle you now carry is not empty speech. It is power authority that causes darkness to retreat and hearts to awaken. Think of a judge who enters a courtroom. The robe they wear is more than fabric. It represents authority granted by law. When the judge speaks, the gavel strikes, and the decision is final. Your mantle functions the same. When you speak with faith, heaven recognizes the authority behind your words. The atmosphere responds, not because of you alone, but because of the mantle resting on you. Or picture a shepherd given a staff. At first it seems like a simple stick, but in the hands of one chosen, it parts seas, strikes rocks to release water, and guides the flock to safety. What looks ordinary becomes extraordinary under the mantle's anointing. The authority you carry may not always look impressive, but it holds power beyond what eyes can see. Chosen one. Wearing the mantle means walking differently. It means carrying yourself with the awareness that your words matter. Your presence matters. Your decisions ripple outward. You are no longer only representing yourself, you are representing the one who entrusted you with the mantle. Authority is not for pride, but for service. The greater the mantle, the deeper the call to humility. This mantle is also a covering. It shields you when storms rage, not by removing the storm, but by giving you the strength to stand within it. Like a cloak wrapped around your shoulders on a cold night, the mantle of authority keeps you steady when everything around you shakes. And the mantle is generational. Elijah's mantle did not end with him, it multiplied through Elisha. In the same way, what you carry is not for you alone. The authority given to you will ripple into the lives of others. People who walk near you will feel the weight of it, and they too will rise stronger because of your mantle. Chosen one. The authority placed upon you is not light. It is not decoration. It is weight, but it is holy weight. And though it may feel heavy, it is also the proof that heaven trusts you. So wear it with reverence. Walk with confidence. Speak with clarity. For the mantle has fallen, and it rests upon your shoulders now. And as you carry it forward, every step you take will echo with purpose. Every word you speak will carry weight. And every place you go will bear the mark of heaven's authority. Chosen one. No warrior stands alone forever. Even the strongest soldier needs an army. Even the brightest torch burns brighter when joined with others. The journey you are walking is not meant to be carried only by your own strength, It is part of a movement. Think of Israel marching around Jericho. One voice shouting might have been ignored, but when an entire nation lifted their cry together, walls that seemed immovable collapsed in an instant. That is the power of community. Your faith is powerful, but when joined with others, it shakes kingdoms. The letter to the Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 24 declares, "Let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds." Faith flourishes when it connects. Strength multiplies when it gathers, and courage grows when it is shared. This is why you are being invited not just to walk alone, but to walk with others who carry the same fire. There is a movement of chosen ones rising, an army stepping into alignment. You are part of it, not a spectator. Buta vital voice. Picture a fire in the wilderness. One flame flickers and struggles against the wind, but when that flame is shared, torch to torch, suddenly a whole field lights up. The darkness cannot comprehend it, cannot contain it. That is what happens when you join your light with others. Chosen one. If this word has touched you, then let your agreement become visible. Like it, not out of duty, but because something inside you knows it is true. Share it. Not because you were told to, but because you want another weary traveler to feel the same light you just felt. And subscribe, not as a cold transaction, but as a way of saying, I choose to keep walking with this army, step by step. And there is one more thing. Add your voice in the comments, not just as words on a screen, but as a stone placed on the altar of testimony. When you write, you are not only agreeing, you are leaving a marker that says, I was here. I chose to stand with the movement. Imagine a great wall covered with names of those who endured, those who stood firm, those who believed. Every name is a story. Every inscription is a legacy. When you comment, you carve your own place in that wall of faith. It is not about visibility. It is about belonging. This is the beauty of community. It turns individual flames into a wildfire. It turns one voice into a chorus. It turns a lone journey into an unstoppable movement. And you are not just invited, you are needed. So stand with courage. Carry your torch. Add your stone to the altar. Join the voices that are rising, because together, this movement will not be silenced. And the darkness that tried to overwhelm you will tremble when it sees you are not walking alone. Chosen one. This is your moment to align, to mark yourself as part of the story heaven is writing, to move not as one, but as many. And as you step in, remember this, an army of light cannot be stopped. And your place in this movement is not small. It is a spark that carries fire, a voice that strengthens others, and a legacy that will outlive you. Chosen one. What you have endured and what you have spoken does not end with you. Every act of faith, every step of obedience, every whispered prayer becomes a ripple that moves far beyond your own life. The story of your endurance is not only personal, it is generational. Even global. Think of a stone dropped into still water. At first, only a small circle appears around the point of impact, but then the circles widen, reaching further and further until the entire surface is stirred. That is your life. The small, yes. The unseen endurance. The vow that you sealed each has created ripples that extend further than you imagine. The Apostle Paul reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, Verse 19. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. Creation itself responds when God's chosen rise. Your obedience does not simply affect your own journey, it awakens something in the earth. Consider Abraham, his choice to leave Ur. A single step of faith eventually birthed nations. Or think of Esther. Her risk to step before the king saved an entire people. Their decisions were not confined to their personal lives. They echoed across generations. Your decisions carry the same weight. Heaven sees not just you, but those who will be set free because of you. Picture a candle lit in a dark room. One flame alone can seem small, yet it shifts the atmosphere immediately. And when another candle is lit from it, and then another, soon the room that once seemed suffocating in darkness becomes filled with light. This is the ripple effect of your endurance. People you will never meet will find courage because you refuse to quit. Chosen one. Your impact will reach further than your eyes can see. A word you spoke in faith may comfort someone across the world. A testimony you carry may strengthen a heart that was ready to give up. The ripple moves, even when you are unaware. And this ripple does not stop with strangers. It moves into your bloodline. Generational curses break because of your stand. Children yet unborn will inherit freedom because you chose obedience today. Patterns of fear and bondage will not pass through you. You have become the line of interruption, and what flows from you will be blessing. Imagine a river breaking through a dam. The force of the water does not stay contained. It surges outward, nourishing fields, filling reservoirs, and bringing life wherever it goes. That is your obedience. It is not stagnant. It is flowing, powerful, and far-reaching. This is why your journey mattered so much. It was never just about surviving. It was about releasing a sound into the earth that would continue long after you speak it. Your yes has turned into a current, and that current is moving outward even now. Chosen one. Know this. You are part of something larger than you ever realized. Nations will be touched because you endured. Families will be restored because you prayed. Entire communities will find light because you carried your torch. Your ripple is global and your impact eternal. And understand this clearly. Ripples never die where they began. They carry momentum far beyond their origin, shaping shores they never touched before. Your life is that stone, and the impact of your faith will outlive you, reaching places your feet will never stand. Yet your spirit will always touch. Chosen one, you have come to the moment where everything converges. The test you endured, the tears you shed, the obedience you chose, the cycles you broke, all of it has led here. This is the place of sealing. The crown is no longer a distant promise. It is a present reality being placed upon your life. Think of Revelation's vision. Those who endured to the end received white robes and crowns, not because they never struggled, but because they overcame. The same honor is spoken over you. You are no longer defined by the weight of battles past. You are defined by the glory of what you carried through them. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 30, verse 11. You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy. This is your transition. The garments of sorrow are falling away, and garments of joy are being wrapped around you. Imagine a courtroom. The judge rises and declares the final verdict. The case is closed. Accusations lose their power. The gavel falls, and silence fills the room. That is what heaven has just declared over you. The accusations of the enemy have no more voice. The verdict is in your favor. The seal is set. Or picture a garden that has been barren for years. Soil cracked. Seeds dormant. Rain absent. Suddenly, clouds gather. Reine pour. And shoots of green burst through the earth. What looked lifeless was only waiting for its season. Your barren places are bursting forth in life. Chosen one. The final seal means this: no part of your journey was wasted. Every tear watered the soil. Every prayer became a seed. Every act of obedience laid a foundation stone. And now, the harvest is rising. The crown has been placed. The mantle you carry is not light, but it is holy. The inheritance you receive is not temporary, but éternel. And the authority you walk in is not self-made, but heaven-given. You are marked as one who has endured, one who has passed, one who now carries reward. Do not think small of this moment. Your sealing is not only for you, but for those who will look to you and see proof that God still crowns his faithful. You become a testimony living and breathing, a walking monument of grace. Picture a torch lit at the end of a long race. The runner who carried it has scars, sweat, and aching limbs, but they lift the flame high. The crowd erupts, not because of how easy the race was, but because it was finished. You are that runner. The torch burns in your hand. The finish line is behind you. The reward is upon you. Chosen one. You are sealed. The test is over. The crown is given. The story is marked forever with glory. Walk forward, knowing this truth. What heaven has sealed cannot be undone, and what God has crowned cannot be stolen. And let this sink deeper. Your crown is not only for today, but it is the sign of eternity's embrace. What you wear now will outlast the years, echoing into generations. You carry more than honor. You carry legacy. You have become a living prophecy, a reminder that endurance births glory, and obedience writes history that cannot fade. Chosen one. You have walked through the journey, section by section, word by word, and now you stand at the end. But endings in the kingdom are never endings. They are beginnings clothed in new garments. What you have heard is not random encouragement. It is the story of your life woven into prophecy, sealed with heaven's truth. You endured. You passed. And now you are crowned. Think of where you began wrestling with silence, enduring nights of tears, wondering if God had turned his face away. And look at you now, still standing, still believing, still chosen. Your story has shifted from test to testimony, from shame to honor, from hiddenness to authority. The crown rests on your head, and the mantle of destiny rests on your shoulders. But this journey is not yours to keep locked within. It is a flame meant to spread. If these words have stirred your soul, if they have lifted your spirit, then let your response become part of the testimony. Like this message as a marker that your spirit has agreed. Share it as a torch passed forward, so that another chosen one wandering in darkness may find the same light. Subscribe, not as a duty, but as a declaration that you choose to keep walking in this stream of revelation. And leave your voice in the comments, not as empty text, but as your stone on the altar of remembrance, saying, I was here, I chose, I enduret, Chosen one. This is not coincidence. Heaven pressed pause to bring this word to you. Carry it. Guard it. Spread it. For the crown you now wear is not fragile, it is eternal. Walk boldly, because your best days are not behind you. They are only just beginning.